Hey guys, this is my director's commentary. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk you through my trailer, the various shots that I've used and the reason why I've used them and what it was that I was trying to convey with them. So I'll start off. The first shot of my trailer is a medium shot of a phone ringing, and alongside the phone there's kind of a bit of change and keys and a piece of paper which has got a date and a time written on it. I wanted this to kind of be a hint to the audience that this person is supposed to be going out to meet someone, but that it's kind of slightly strange that they've left all of this stuff behind, you know, something like keys you'd kind of think you'd take out with you. The shot that follows it is a close-up of the phone. It's still ringing, and it reveals the caller ID, which has a smiling girl on it. This shot I've used to introduce the character Abby and to illustrate that this is the person that this other person ought to be meeting. The next shot is a medium shot of a girl stood outside. She's fiddling with her phone in her hand and opening and closing it as though she's checking the time. She's looking around her, and it's kind of an indication that she's waiting for someone, but perhaps they're late or they haven't turned up at all. My next shot is one which I believe works particularly well. It's a close-up of the girl in which the camera is circling around her and she's twisting and turning to keep up with it, which creates the impression that she feels as though she's being watched or that someone's just behind her and she can't quite get away. I used this shot because I wanted to create a tense atmosphere, just to get across the idea that this girl's in danger and that someone is watching her. And the use of the ghosting effect I've applied makes the image seem more shaky, and it seems to make the situation seem even more unstable. My next shot sees the arrival of an entirely new location. This time, the girl is sat on the floor, her knees are pulled up against her, and there's a bright light shining on her. It's a long shot of the girl, but in the mid-distance of the shot, there's a figure, slightly in shadow, with a sort of tie in their hand. This shot is stationary, but I used it to give the impression that this girl is helpless and that the shadowed figure is unknown and dangerous to her. At this point, the length of the shots in my trailer become much shorter because I was trying to add more pace to it, instead of it just being long shots, which could have got a bit boring or uninteresting for the audience. The first of these shorter shots is a medium shot of the girl sat against the wall with a worried expression on her face. The camera kind of shakes slightly, which gives the impression of unease. Her eyes flicker upwards as this happens, suggesting to the audience that someone has entered the room, but it never shows them who it is that's entered. The following shot is a close-up of the girl's eyes. Her point of focus changes from left to the centre of the camera as though she was staring straight at someone. The desired effect of having her look directly into the camera was to more clearly see the girl's emotions. One of the deeper notes of the piano on the music that I have on the trailer is struck just as she looks forward, which kind of gives the shot even more effect. Continuing with the use of the close-ups, the next shot features the girl's hands, which have been bound together and she's struggling to get free. Although the audience hasn't seen the girl being tied up, it suggests to them that her keeper is a lot more serious now about stopping her from escaping. Not knowing why or when the girl became tied adds to the intrigue. The penultimate shot is a medium shot showing the girl tied and gagged. She's leaning forwards as though she's struggling to get free, and then she bangs back against the wall, rising her head up, which creates a feeling of desperation. The last shot lasts longer than the previous three and fades out to black, which gives it more effect and leaves it lasting in the audience's mind. At this point, the name of the film fades in, and I've kind of chosen a harsh, sort of spiky font. The colour of the font is a white, which kind of suggests a bleakness, and this stays on screen for a few seconds, then fades out and is replaced with the words "coming soon." The final shot of the trailer fades in just as the "coming soon" begins to disappear. It's in semi-darkness, and the girl leans forwards as though sitting up. A shadow passes across her, and you are momentarily unable to see her. Then as she comes back into view, she's staring directly into the camera. The reason I wanted to use this shot is that because she stares straight into the camera lens and the image of her eyes sticks with the person that's watching, I chose to insert this shot at the very end, after the name and release date, simply because I wanted to leave an image for the audience to remember rather than something less rememberable, such as the release date.